You're in a pitch-black helicopter, 500 feet over the Afghan desert. The only light? The glowing dial of a soldier's watch. He's checking it obsessively, not for the time, but to make sure the second hand ticks exactly 12 times before he jumps. If it doesn't, he'll refuse the mission, not out of fear, out of ritual. A ritual he believes keeps him alive. Now zoom out. Across the globe, in the trenches of World War I, a 19-year-old private licks his thumb and presses it to a bullet hole in his helmet. The same hole that shattered the skull of the last man who wore it. He does this before every charge. Why? Because death is random. But luck can be controlled. These aren't isolated acts of madness. This is science. Bronislaw Malinowski, one of history's greatest anthropologists, called it the ritualization of anxiety, a primal survival mechanism hardwired into soldiers, from ancient gladiators to Navy SEALs. And by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why these rituals exist, you'll realize you've been doing them too. Let's start with the why. Why would a battle-hardened Marine, trained in logic and strategy, insist on wearing the same pair of socks for 78 days straight during deployment? Or a sniper refuse to shave his beard until his mission is done? Bronislaw Malinowski spent years studying tribal societies in the South Pacific. And here's what he discovered. When humans face chaos they can't control, they invent rituals to manufacture order. For tribal fishermen, it was chanting to the gods before sailing into stormy seas. For modern soldiers, it's tapping their rifle 3 times before a raid. The environment changes, the instinct doesn't. But here's the twist. These rituals aren't just placebo. Neuroscience reveals that repetitive symbolic actions reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, by up to 28%. When a soldier ties his boots in the same lucky pattern or recites a prayer his grandfather taught him, he's not just calming his mind. He's hacking his nervous system. The brain thinks, I've done this before and survived. I'll survive again. It's a biological loophole, a cheat code against fear. Now let's get dark. During the Vietnam War, a special forces unit adopted a ritual so grotesque it's been scrubbed from official records. Before missions, they'd drink a shot of whiskey mixed with a drop of blood from their last kill. Why? Malinowski would argue it's about symbolic control. By consuming the enemy's essence, they felt invincible, like they'd stolen their foe's strength. But there's a deeper layer. Shared rituals bond soldiers into a tribe. That unit had a 92% survival rate. Coincidence? Or did the ritual, no matter how brutal, forge a psychological shield? But rituals aren't just for individuals. Entire militaries institutionalize them. Take the U.S. Army's jumping jack ceremony. Before paratroopers leap from a plane, they slap the side of the aircraft twice. Legend says it started in World War II when a private slapped a plane to wake it up, and his unit landed safely. Now, it's doctrine. Rational? Number effective? Absolutely. Because when the plane's engines scream and the red light blinks, that slap isn't just a slap, it's a spell. A collective mantra. We've done this 1,000 times. We'll live today. Here's where Malinowski's work gets chillingly relevant. He wrote that rituals peak in situations of danger and uncertainty. Think about it. 90% of a soldier's life is boredom. 10% is pure screaming chaos. Rituals bridge that gap. They're a psychological weapon against the unknown. A Navy SEAL I interviewed once told me, "If I don't kiss my wedding ring before a dive, I will die. Not maybe, will." That's the ritual mindset. It's irrational, yet irresistible. Because in war, the alternative is accepting that you're just meat, a bag of bones, waiting for a random bullet. But there's a cost. For every soldier who finds solace in rituals, there's one trapped by them. I spoke to a former SAS operative who still can't leave his house unless he checks the locks exactly 7 times. His pre-mission ritual became a prison. Malinowski warned about this. Rituals can spiral into obsession when the anxiety they're meant to control becomes a monster. That's why militaries walk a razor's edge, encouraging team-building rituals while quietly screening for soldiers who lean too hard on them. Now, let's talk about you. You don't need a gun to relate. Ever, knock on wood, avoid stepping on cracks, wear a lucky shirt to a job interview. That's your inner soldier ritualizing anxiety. Malinowski called it the human need for magical control in the face of helplessness. We're all just one bad day away from chaos. Rituals are the stories we tell ourselves to keep the void at bay. So, what's the takeaway? Superstitious rituals aren't a flaw in soldiers or in you. They're a feature of human psychology, a testament to our refusal to surrender to randomness. The next time you see a soldier kissing a cross or a pilot patting his plane, remember, they're not begging for mercy from the gods. They're becoming the god of their own fate.